Welcome back. So, yeah, Zuku was basically. So, welcome back to what if female Deku, or Zumi, was the court doctor's successor? Yeah, I I keep calling him the court doctor because he's the one that's everyone relies on to yeah. So where we left off, the one night and she had a really bad dream as everybody woken her up as she starts crying as she couldn't believe something in her dreams as told they asked her what happened in your dream as she tells her or she tells them that it scary he like it was like someone came from a dark alley with a knife. It was as as she couldn't explain it. She went right back to sleep, and the nightmare went away till the morning came. As yeah, let me tell you first. Her dream was that she was in a dark alleyway, or or in the alleyway to go back to her house. Earth. Then a girl that's the same size as Momo, oh, ended up coming out of nowhere with a knife, walking right towards her, and sliced his or her throat, Zumi's throat, and as Zumi starts to cry. Yeah. So now you know what her dream is. So yeah. So she basically tells, or so she was cooking breakfast for all of for every. It's like she has her own army of 30 people in her house, in her new house. Yeah. Then when, of course, they overhaul asked, or actually, let's say Musclear asked her, like, what was her dream about? Her, you had a nightmare. As she says, well, I was walking through a dark alleyway, like, to get back to here from school, and there was this girl that, let's say it was like Momo, her size. He had, or she created a knife from her hand, or from her left hand. She walked up to me, he, and she had this really bad look in her eyes. Like, and as she starts to tear up, and she does that, like, little neck through, or her finger across her neck thing. And laid there bleeding to death as she as she as Zumi tells her or tells them that she looked over my dead body and told me that now Todoroki, or you stole Todoroki from me, so I'm repaying you back for that. As she starts to cry, as everyone, all the boys, all the adults, hold it on to her. They all knew that she won't, as muscular, or actually uh, yeah, the rock guy, the steel guy, and muscular agree that if that ever happens, yeah. So then, one day, she forgot to grab her lunch, and funny enough, or actually not, or she was walking home, um, by herself because she had a bag of groceries thing, as that same dream came real. But in yeah, as she was on the phone with Musclear, talking to him as she as Momo says, now time for you to pay for your as as the as yeah. So Musclear says, Zumi, as he starts running out of the yeah, as yeah, the everybody or the overhaul home on knows that when or so Zumi's trying to who dodge Momo's attacks as till so Momo is about to stab, yeah, she's about to stab Zumi all the way to the heart as she says, this is for your sins. As yeah, as when Muscular says to when he grabs the Momo's hand, threw her across the into the a wall, as Overhaul or as Muscular tells Zumi that the in home now, okay, as yeah, as Overhaul, no, as yeah, Momo says, get out of my way, she's about to pay with her life, as Muscular decided, I'm not into killing, but for you, because you're trying to hurt my little princess, S, or my one, or our wife, Yeah, it's basically as he basically, yeah, beating her up so bad, or so he beats Momo up so bad that even the she couldn't even like move her body around. Yeah, and so as he had a good idea, as because everyone and or all the boys really wanted to see the naked and Ozuku. So so let's say they went to the undergrounds and they strapped her down into a like pose like her butt up in the air, her, and yeah, what they did to her was so like inappropriate that I won't say. Hey, so the when yeah they I'm when I say that it's the they taking pictures of her. uh, yeah, so yeah, basically it's like that, but on a whole nother level. So then, as the villains, like uh, remaining villains, like girls one, grabs the groceries and brought them in, so that because they are they were afraid if Zumi he walked out, she'll probably get attacked by some other guys or some other people. Yeah. So now this is gonna be yeah. And before we go, yes, on the her like Maya or Mina, I think that's her name, Mina, Mina, or I forget her name. She became Zumi's best friends. She treats him as family. Or no, I meant her. She treats Zumi as family. Yeah. So they yeah. So they made sure that she didn't have any like serious wounds. 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 But there was only like cuts, little bit of cuts because and her hair. Yeah. And so Todoroki asks, or no, actually, Overhaul asks Muscular, "What did you do with Momo's body?" As let's not talk about it. Let's say she's very busy with people in the undergrounds for a long time. Yeah. Don't picture the don't picture the in your head. Don't have the any images of your yeah. Okay? Cuz I just realized after I said that the some of you might actually picture what the underground would look like if Momo was there for her rest of her life. Yeah. And you know what else? Even sometimes when the quirk doctor asks her to go check on the Momo, yeah, to see how's the progress going. Yeah, because the quirk doctor asked her to build her or build the perfect Nomu to like protect her if from like any battles things like shopping and doing all that stuff. So she goes down there and the one of the guys was fully dressed. Or actually, let's say Musclier went down there earlier to make sure that he doesn't want to see or she doesn't want to see any of the so yeah. And plus she tells him that the quirk doctor wanted me to go down there to check and get some like blood samples of to create a Nomu as he says sure thing. Yeah, it's basically so he goes down there and he sees a lot of like people. Oh, and yeah, the he tells the villains that if their wife is coming down to get some blood samples to creating a Nomu, as when he they know which one they are talking about, not Momo. That's the but their wife. That's Zumi. So they ended up lined up, and they got all the blood or like quirks got copied. Yeah, and he or so then she created a Nomu. She didn't just create one Nomu. She created 50,000 million trillion billions of them. And they all have obedience chips and all that stuff. Oh. Yeah. She even was so like because Musclier knows that the when he looked over at Momo's body, she looked like a where's the image? Not the dirty image, but one that looks, or she looked like way before. She looked like, or this is what she looked like before her, and then when she looked like a big bag of potatoes in front of her stomach, like it was pretty big stomach. Yeah, and so yeah, Zumi and Muscular, of course, Muscular walked with Zumi, and she says, "Here's a bunch of like nomus." Oh, thanks. And of course, Muscular tells her to wait outside, and I'll walk with you. Or as she or so, yeah, she does, and then Muscular turns to him and tells the Quark Doctor, or like whispers, I think Momo or is ready for that. Ah, thank you for telling me. I'll be right there. Okay? As Kirigiri warps him. And yeah, it was. So he also set up the monitor so that when they are when her stomach does that thing, so she became, yeah, so she was, or actually in the last part of the one that I said that she's or actually she's married to, or she's actually not married. So yeah, so she ends up becoming a pusher. Or that means like pumps out the kids constantly. Like, yeah, for rest of her life. Yeah. But Zumi has a great life. Momo used to have a great life, but then she became a slave thing. And yeah. So then, yeah, let me remind you. Her She is doing that for the rest of her life from that point on. So, yeah, then everything is happy. Yeah. He goes over to Todoroki's house to say hi to his sister, to Todoroki's sister, er, and yeah. And she asked, huh, I heard from Todoroki that you had a bad dream. Like, the Momo created a knife and cut your throat, and you were slowly bleeding to death. Yeah, it almost happened, but then, as I was on the phone with Musclear, er, and the rest of them, like all the adults, or rest of the husbands, came, and as she says, what happened to Momo? Oh, as as the Todoroki says, or actually, let's say that Endeavor knew what Momo is gonna, or is now doing. As she says, or as Endeavor says, don't ask what. As she wants to know. But then when Endeavor told her what the villains is doing to her, she was like, okay, thanks for telling me. As yeah. So basically everyone in Japan, including the government, respects her as a like student and a villain, but not a true villain. She's also the mother of the 15 kids, and she's the only one with 15 husbands. Hens. Yeah. And she's the favorite person that everyone hangs out with, including except for Momo, because Momo is yeah. So Mina and Maya, they both hang out with her, with Zumi, when they go shopping. If someone try to like say there was a little incident, not there was like a villain called a Grim Reaper wanted to kill somebody. So, but he heard that Zumi is, and Grim Reaper is it's very dumb. So one day, Mina and Maya went around, and she was about to use a bathroom, but then a ghostly figure comes. As yeah, as my as let's say the most, or let's say Endeavor was there, because he doesn't trust, or he does trust everybody, but he sends rumors going around. He even told Zumi that no matter who you have to, always be watching you. Okay. So did Overhaul. So they, all everybody, or she was trying to go use a bathroom, but then, or actually, she did, as a Green Reaper came to kill her. As she is trying to, like, yeah, after she was done with her little business thing, she ran, or she put her pants on, and like her, yeah, as the she's dodging his attacks, and he was slicing at her, like, as Maya, or Mina, or like her, she came in, and she actually heard some slicing, as she called, or she went and checked on him before, or checked on Zumi, and she sees that Grim Reaper was about to get his killing, as as Maya, or Mina, grabs the axe and holds it, and she's like trying not to be like what he is, as she's about to, as Mina, or Maya, called on Endeavor, and told them that the Grim Reaper is about to kill Zumi and Maya. Yeah, or Mina. As, yeah, she basically tells them, as Endeavor, like, walks right in and grabs the villain, and as he says, I'll take him to custody. As he takes away the axe, or as she they know that Zumi is peed herself because how scared she was. As she says, come on, let me get you some fresh clothes, okay? Okay. As, yeah, even all the stores, like store owners that own the stores, they heard about that incident, and she's like freaked out about it. Yeah. As she says, as Mina, or Maya, MEI, name, when like clothes shopping, or actually clothes owner says as well, well, what happened there? Well, the Grim Reaper incident happened. As, oh, is she okay? She's fine. She's just peed her pants, and she's because how scared she was. Oh, here, they're free. So yeah, because he owns the business. So yeah, so as she gets cleaned up, man, of course, Endeavor was, or when Overhaul and Muscular and all of the, yeah, all of them heard what happened to Zumi. They were, or of course, Endeavor told them that the no need to worry, she's safe, and he or the and the Grim Reaper is now in behind bars. Okay, good. I don't want her to, or we don't want her to die because of we weren't there for her. So yeah, Zumi, or he was, yeah, as Mina and Maya went shopping still, and they as they went had coffees like what I have, but they sure have interesting stuff. And so they bought fresh clothes because every single time, yeah. So then the talent show, Zumi didn't want to miss it, as Mina, or actually Nezu, told her that she could watch it from her big screen at her house. She, as he says, I promise that the, hey, yeah. Oh, and I forgot to mention, cred, before the, I forgot to mention in last 2 or 3 parts, Mirio has one for all. So I forgot to mention that. So yeah. So then when Zuko became, or so when Zumi or I keep saying Zuko, but Zumi ended up watching it from her television thing. And with all like 15 children's watching the performance. And gosh dang, she was that. So the court doctor ended up using one of the Nomus to be her bodyguard, so that the plus, as if she's in like trouble, the Nomu's there to protect her so that she won't have to face them by themselves again. Like, yeah. As she has more protection than anyone. She has, like, way more respect. And by 15 of her husbands, and And plus, everyone in the entire world respects her as a. They treat her as a sister. If anything happens to her, like, yeah, then they start, like, becoming all rageful. Yeah. As they sometimes start calling her sister because, yeah. So, yeah. And because, and all that stuff. So, this is the end of the video. And, yeah. Before we go, I really want to do this. I'm adding this part in. So, I'm adding a Zuko from another What If. That's called What If Deku was as like let me show you. What if Deku was a scientist? Yeah. So, yeah, some guy with a green hair, same, just randomly got teleported to there, and he ended up, um, um, like, who are you? I'm Zumi. He, okay. Like, they start battling each other. They don't understand. Sometimes they don't understand if a person's real or not. Yeah. He didn't, like, kill her. He just, like, okay. Because let's say one of the experiments from the, like, what if Deku was the scientist? One of his experiments accidentally made a, like, teleport thing, like, teleport him to a different timeline. So he ends up in that universe. And he had a time anchor, or time. So it was 10 minutes to be there, and then gets back. So yeah, then he gets back, and then yeah. So now, yeah, it was just crazy. Yeah. So yeah, it was like it was so clean at the beginning, like first part, like part one, but then it slowly turned into a, like, sad during almost towards the middle of or like the last part of part one, all the way to right now. And it got better when, like, but it's a happy ending for everybody except for Momo. She has to spend her entire life giving birth to the kids, like, reproducing them. out of her own body for the entire for rest of her life. That seems like torture right there. So yeah, the villains. Yeah, I'm not gonna go in too much in detail, but I'll say it's 18 plus thing. So yeah, just for that part, I'll just say that because they or she sure like bam. Plus, it stops the villains from getting all trying to get all the way up into Zumi's personal things. Yeah. So yeah, because I'm. It's just yeah. So bye bye. See you guys later.